Oh, the stream is live. So should I go ahead?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so I clicked. Oh, here we go. Okay. I think I'm live now. Okay. Sorry, it's there we go. Okay. Welcome. If you're coming live, we are just trying to figure out and make sure that this is working. Okay. If you are coming from BYU-Pathway Worldwide from one of their followers, welcome. My name is Becky Squire. I'm so excited that you're here. Welcome. So we're going to talk about BYU-Pathway today. I'm going to share a little bit of my story, but more importantly, we want to answer your questions about BYU-Pathway. So while we're getting started, my name is Becky Squire. I live in Davis County, Utah, northern Utah. What I think is so cool about BYU-Pathway, just a side note, is that this is a worldwide program. So there may be some of you coming from all over the world, so welcome. But I live in northern Utah. I am 41 years old. I've been married for 21 years. And I had to remember what year it was and what month it was. And I have 4 kids. My oldest is on a mission in Indianapolis, Indiana. And then my other 3 are still living at home. I have a 17-year-old daughter, a 15-year-old son, and a 13-year-old son. So those are my kids. And yeah, we're just so excited to be here to talk about BYU-Pathway. I'm a Latter-day Saint influencer. I really enjoy sharing gospel tips and principles and lifestyle tips, LDS lifestyle tips. So if you want to follow me, I would love to meet you and to meet you online to share some tips with you. So one of those tips is that I am starting school this fall, and I don't have my degree at all. And so I'm really excited to start that. And I think that we will be talking a little bit more about my story in a minute. But I wanted to start now and tell you that if you have any questions about BYU-Pathway, start putting them in the question box so that we can start putting them on and answering them for you. So if you have any questions, put them on right here. I'm here with Mackenzie, and she works for BYU-Pathway. So do you want to say hi, Mackenzie?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Mackenzie. Like Becky said, I work in the marketing department at BYU-Pathway Worldwide, and we're excited to hear and share Becky's story and get all your questions answered.
Awesome. Okay, so I'll just start, I guess, with my story, why I'm doing BYU-Pathway. So I remember several months ago, it may have even been in January, our stake did a fireside kind of introducing BYU-Pathway and telling us what BYU-Pathway was. I can tell you that I had absolutely zero desire to go back to school. I just didn't really have any reason to go, and no plans to. But that fireside really kind of stuck with me, and I thought BYU-Pathway was a really great program. I was maybe thinking, about my kids in the future, if that's something that they wanted to do, but I wasn't thinking about it for me. And to make this story really short, I'll just say that in the last year or year and a half or 2 years, I've just been struggling with like high anxiety. And one of the ways that I have felt that I need to deal with my anxiety is by going back to school. And that was kind of a prayer that was unexpectedly answered that way. My husband and I both felt really strongly that that was something that was going to help. And so I'm not saying that that's the answer for everybody, but it was an answer for me. And when I got that answer, I was like, no, I really, really don't want to go back to school. So please, I don't want to do that. But Heavenly Father told me that that was the right thing. And I felt a lot of comfort and a lot of peace as I continued to pursue what that might look like. And as I did that, I knew that BYU-Pathway was probably one of my top options. And as I continued to learn more about BYU-Pathway, I knew it was what I needed to do. So I'm really excited to start in September with BYU-Pathway. And yeah, so let's get started. Do we have any questions? I've got some from earlier yesterday.
Why don't we start with one of yours, Becky?
Okay, awesome. So one of the questions is, does BYU-Pathway take credits from other colleges from a long time ago? So I think this is kind of a two-part question. Number one, do they take credits from other colleges?
Yes. So when you start BYU Pathway, Becky will be starting this fall, and so you will be starting with Pathway Connect. And most people go that route. So you'll be in Pathway Connect courses for 6 months. Those classes that you'll be taking will earn credit, but technically you won't be a matriculated or degree-seeking student until after that 6 months ends and you pursue a certificate either with BYU Idaho or Ensign College. So the reason I explain that is because at that point, when you decide on your first certificate that you'll be earning, you will submit any transcripts that you have, and those will be evaluated by an academic advisor, and they will decide if it'll take place of general education courses that can be waived. So the answer is yes. I will say that it's much easier and less expensive if you are transferring credit from a university within the United States, rather than if you're an international student or if you're outside the United States trying to transfer credits in.
Okay. And so I think that you kind of answered this, but it doesn't really matter how long ago it was, right?
That should not matter, no. So
Okay.
but the academic advisor is going to do an evaluation with you, and it's really it's because it's a case by case, it's really challenging to say like, oh yeah, if it's but we have students from, 50 years ago. We have students who are like 90 who are transferring in credits from when they were young, and I'm not exactly sure how their credits are counted, but yeah, they still transfer in credits from years and years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So absolutely, and case by case, but but yes. Okay. So another question that I had was, is it only online, or are there classes in person?
Great question. BYU Pathway is designed to be online. During Pathway Connect, that 6 months of courses that I mentioned before of Pathway Connect, you do have a gathering. There are very few, and that's where you meet with a group on a weekly basis. And you'll talk about your coursework. You will actually get the opportunity to be a lead student and teach the course material for that week. You'll have a curriculum that you use for that. And for those, you will either be virtual or in person. There are very few gatherings that meet in person now. They do exist, but they are mostly, I think, in the United States. And I know we have a couple in Utah. I'm not exactly sure around the rest of the world, but you usually have an option for that between virtual and online. But the short answer is yes, it's all online.
Yeah, the classes are online.
Yes.
Gatherings have an option to be in person, and also your
Mhm.
institute classes that you take, there are sometimes options to be in person for those.
Yep. Sometimes there are, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So remember to put your questions here if you have any questions. I'm reading some that I got yesterday, but if you're here and you have a question that I haven't read, please drop your question and we will try to answer it. Okay, so another question I got was, how much does it cost a year?
It depends on where you live. So we're going to put up a link for where you can check the tuition rate where you are. In the United States, it's $83 a credit. And if you're in another country, that rate will be different. So you'll go to byupathway.edu/tuition. And that banner should come up pretty soon here. And in addition, do you want me to talk about scholarships while we're talking about
Yeah,
costs,
we
Becky?
have a couple of questions about that. Do they offer financial aid? What kind of tuition? Yeah, what does that look
Yeah.
like? So go ahead and talk
Okay.
about
Great question. So, no matter where you are in the world, once you enroll in BYU Pathway and go to your student portal, you will have the option to complete the Heber J Grant module. So, that is a module that you'll go through. You'll learn about Heber J Grant's life and his kind of approach to frugality. And then you will answer some questions to determine what needs based financial aid or tuition discount you qualify for. So you can either get 10%, 25%, or 50% off depending on your need, but it's guaranteed that every single student who completes the module will get at least 10% off, no matter what. So that's one scholarship. The other, or one tuition discount that we offer. The other is our Return Missionary Scholarship, and that's an additional 25% off to the Heber J. Grant Scholarship, so they stack, and that's available to any return missionary who has come home from their mission within the last 5 years. So it's active for that time.
Okay.
And there's that banner with the
Yes.
link there.
And the website, by the way, is really easy to navigate. So if you just go to BYU-Pathway.edu, you can probably find any answer to your question. But yeah.
We're just a little more fun to listen to, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, awesome. So another question, excuse me, is can you do Pathway if you already have a degree but want another degree?
Absolutely. The caveat that I'll give to that is that it's not designed for auditing courses. So if you are pursuing a certificate, which is 15 credits, or an associate or another bachelor's degree, it's going to be a really great approach for you if you're looking for at least 15 credits.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And then this question made me laugh. It made me laugh that they're asking me this. So keep in mind, I'm 41 years old. And the question is it for the younger generation or those new to America? What demographic is it focused on?
That's a really great question. We have very few eligibility requirements. It's for anyone in the United States or abroad who is at least 17 years old. You have to have completed high school or the equivalent of high school in your country. You do not have to have completed any standard tests like in the United States, the ACT or the SAT. You just go in online and you apply for free. And it's, Becky, how long did it take you to apply?
It took me like 15 minutes, maybe at the most. I did the Heber Grant, the tuition scholarship, which takes a bit because you have to kind of go through like a mini course. I don't know what you'd call it. But that was just for the tuition scholarship. Other than that, just applying it. Yeah. So quick and easy.
Yeah, it's very
And
fast.
then I started getting emails like already like, welcome to BYU Pathway. And I'm getting emails from, I think there's like a mentor and like somebody who's over your gathering and all of these things. So
there's a lot of support.
Yeah, a lot of support. And then I love this question too. What degrees are offered through BYU Pathway?
That is a really great question. So we offer 6 bachelor's degrees, and those are communication, business, applied health. I'm trying to think. Professional studies, which is, do you have the list, Becky?
Yeah, so these are for bachelor degrees. There is, here we go. Business, technology, communication, health, family, and professional studies.
And then we offer a whole slew of associate degrees. And so that's if we can put a banner up for that page on the website, I think it's byupathway.edu/certificates and degrees, but we'll get a banner up so that people can navigate to it. And there's, like I said, a huge list of certificates. I think there are about 20. And then some associate degrees and a bachelor, and the 6 bachelors that we talked about.
So the next question kind of goes along with this. What if you already have a bachelor's but want a master's or certificate in something? So like Mackenzie just said, there are a bunch of certificates that you can always do that, but they don't offer masters, correct?
We do not as of now. That would be amazing. And hopefully someday.
Okay, so maybe someday, but for now you can get bachelor's degrees, you can get second and third bachelor degrees, and you can earn as many certificates as there are, right? Okay.
Yeah, so three certificates stack into a bachelor's degree. So each bachelor's degree has 3 certificates and then some general education credits to complete your requirements for a bachelor's. But I mean, once you finish that and you wanna continue on, there's nothing to stop you from, continuing with another certificate.
Okay. That's so fun. And I read the list of certificates, and there are so many that I'm like super interested in. So I'm really excited to start earning those. Okay. Remember, if you have any questions, we're almost done here with these questions that I have. But if you have something that I haven't answered or that Mackenzie hasn't answered, drop your question below and we'll try to get to those. Okay. So next question that I have is, how many credits can you take at a time? Is it limited?
It's not limited. So a good thing to keep in mind is that typically for each 1 credit that you take, you'll probably spend, it depends on the class, but you'll probably spend 2 hours of work outside of the class on that. So if you're taking a 3 credit class, that's probably 6 hours a week that you're dedicating to that course. And so that's a good um, thing to remember as you're considering how many credits to take. During Pathway Connect, your schedule is set. You're taking 3 credits plus institute, but then once you're pursuing your certificate, you can choose however many credits you want to take.
And one thing I want to talk about really quick is Pathway Connect. I didn't get any questions on Pathway Connect, and I think that's probably because most people don't know what it is.
Mhm.
But it is a program, and you don't have to do it, but when you do it, I think your tuition is cheaper. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's cheaper. You do have to do it if you don't have any credits that you're transferring in. So if you're a returning student or you have credits from previous college, then you can do what we call our advanced path. But most students, because it eases you into online classes because you qualify for the cheaper tuition rate, most students do go through Pathway Connect.
And I think it's such a great option for me who hasn't done school for 20 years, um, like at all. And like even online school wasn't really a thing back then. Um, and so thank you. And so I think this is a great kind of like segue into school, and it's going to teach you like how to do online school, and not
Yeah.
just online school, but like how to just get back into the swing of things. Um, and I think the percentage was 46% of students are over the age of 31. And
Mhm.
so, I think that's a great help for me because I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to school. And so
Yeah.
Pathway Connect is there to help kind of guide you and introduce
Yeah.
you to online school, right?
Yeah, and you'll get the really cool thing is, Becky, kind of what you were just mentioning, when you're in your gathering, you have a lot of age groups represented, and so there's a lot of we've talked to missionaries who has said that it's amazing to watch, the younger, more technologically fluent students helping their older students who are, getting back into school, and then the older students have more maturity and kind of as they're in the gathering, they have more teaching experience, and so the younger students are learning from them. So it's just really cool to see that dynamic.
I love that. Okay, thank you. So Alfred says that he wants to apply for the pathway, and like we said, it's super easy. Just go to the website. There's a big button on the top left that says apply for free. Just start right there. You do need to have a church account to do so, is
Mhm.
that right?
Yeah, you do. And I'll go ahead and add really quick, if you don't have an account for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, if you're a friend of the church and interested in BYU Pathway, you can still apply. And what you'll have to do is create a church login account on churchofjesuschrist.org. It won't, enroll you in anything that you don't want to be enrolled in. You'll just need that login credential in order to apply.
Perfect. Okay. I have a couple more questions here. If you want to transfer to another school from BYU Pathway, do the credits transfer?
Yes. So similar to what we talked about before, once you've completed Pathway Connect, if that is the route you go, you'll meet with an academic advisor and they'll help you understand at that point what your credits will cover, whether it's, electives or general education. And then some of them will likely transfer.
Okay, awesome. Um, Okay, so we're putting links up if you have any questions. I have one more question, and I think that most people already know the answer to this, and we kind of talked about it before, but the question was, I thought you have to be an RM, a return missionary, to do Pathways. Was that ever a thing?
It was not. Their missionaries have supported BYU-Pathway, and so maybe the idea comes from there, but no, it's not just for return missionaries.
Okay. But like you said, there is like a different tuition discount for return missionaries.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So those are all the questions I have. Let's see. Are there any other? Yes, we're going to save this live. I think here's the thing that we were just talking about, right? I need to learn like all of these technical skills because I'm old. So we're going to try to save the live and hopefully it works. So come back to either my account or to BYU Pathway Worldwide, and hopefully this will be saved.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
are there other questions popping up? Let's see. If an international student graduates in September, they still apply to start this fall?
I am not sure if you can give us a little bit more context, I might be able to answer your question better. If you graduate from, like, a high school equivalent in September, or I'm not exactly sure how to answer that. I will say that the deadline to apply for Pathway Connect, to start your application to begin Pathway Connect in the fall is August 27th, and then you have to complete and have your application submitted by September 11th, but be sure that if you're interested, that you start your application by August 27th.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps.
And then, so after Pathways, you can start the certificate programs to build towards your associate and bachelor's.
Yes, that's correct. So when you start, so like I said, Pathway Connect consists of 3 courses. Each one lasts for 7 weeks. When you start your 3rd course, it's called PC 103. You will, in addition to that, take your first certificate course. So you'll choose what your first certificate is going to be, and you'll start your first certificate course. Each certificate is 15 credits. So you'll complete your first certificate, and then once you complete your second 15 credit certificate, you will get some general education in addition to that, and that's your associate degree. And then you'll complete your 3rd certificate, another 15 credits plus more general education classes, and that is your bachelor's degree. So it just kind of all stacks into each other. The reason we do it that way is because it helps you be employable along the way. So if you, for example, get a basic accounting certificate, you can look for jobs that are entry level basic accounting and get a better job while you're in school.
Okay, perfect. All right. Is it possible to retake a course if I am already taking PC 103? So like retaking PC 101.
Yes. So in fact, if you did not get, I think it's a, mm, okay, I need to double check on this. If you did not get at least a B in one of your Pathway Connect courses, you will have to retake it before you move on to your certificate courses. So, if it's because of a grade that you're trying to improve, yes, that you can retake it. In a lot of cases, you have to.
Okay, awesome. Can a high school student register before they graduate? So you kind of already touched on this, but you have to have.
If you're in the United States, I think you have to be 18 years old or have completed high school or the equivalent. So it kind of depends on, when your graduation is and how old you are and when the semester is that you're trying to start.
Okay, awesome. Okay, let's see. I did 1 year of BYU Pathway in the UK. I'm looking at starting it again. Okay, so
Awesome. Exciting.
that's awesome. Yeah, you can keep going as long as you want.
Yeah.
After Pathway, you can start the certificate program to build towards your associates and bachelor's. Yes.
Yes. I think we answered that one.
Okay, next question. Let's see here. So we already talked about that. If you want to go back and watch the live, we talked about the degrees and the certificates, but we don't, I'm saying we, I don't work for BYU Pathway. BYU Pathway doesn't offer a master's, but the associates and bachelors, we talked about that in our live, and you can also go online and look at the degrees there. Okay. I'm guessing this is like going in person.
Yeah. So if you are looking to attend a campus, BYU Pathway, I mean, we do have students who start with BYU Pathway, and then eventually decide that a campus is a better fit, and so they transfer. So if you're looking for kind of some experience with school before you transfer on campus, it could be an option for you. But if you're looking for a campus route, it's probably best to look into another option. BYU Pathway is designed to be all online.
Online. Good question. If I have credits from years ago, can those apply towards certificates, bachelor programs?
Mhm.
Yes, most likely, yes.
Mhm.
We talked about that too earlier. So, okay.
You're to Columbia soon. Okay, should I tell my bishop to move my records so that I can register my courses and choose the correct
Time slot.
slots in the if you are returning to live in Columbia, I think that would actually from a school standpoint, I think you would just change in your portal what your home address is. From a church standpoint, that's a separate thing, and you would probably want to transfer your records, but if you're looking to just change your location for school, you would do that in your student portal, and if you're struggling with that, Becky briefly mentioned this, but each student is assigned a BYU Pathway mentor who can answer questions for you, create tickets for you if you're having a technological difficulty, and they can also help you with an address change if you need to do that.
Yeah, perfect. Great questions. Okay. Let's try to wrap this up by 30 minutes, but we'll do a couple more questions. Would like to understand if you need to take Pathway prior to any other degree. Pathway Connect, do you think that's what it means?
I think so. Pathway Connect is designed for people who are just starting university um, or who want to qualify for our lower tuition rate. If you are looking to just start online, you can look on our website into our advanced path. It's a higher tuition rate, and you do have to have college credit going into it, but it is an option.
Yeah, great question. Okay. Um,
I would
she's
like
gonna
to
finish
finish
at
it.
70 years old, I'm
That's
guessing.
amazing.
That deserves a round of
It's
applause.
It's so cool, Becky. We just went to graduation last week at BYU, Idaho, and met a lot of our online students who had flown from all over the world to receive their degrees. And we had students who were, well into their 80s and students who were in their like low to mid 20s. It was just really cool to see the range of ages and where people were from. And
Yeah,
it's amazing. You feel like you're a part of something very unifying. And yeah, I'm
I've
excited for you.
gotten a lot of messages myself from people who started when they were 50 and even 70. And so, yeah, just you're never, never, ever too old
No.
to learn and to gain more knowledge. So, okay. Um, Here's another one. If I have an associate's degree from Utah State, does that come in as the whole generals or just course by course? I think it's the whole generals, right? You have your associates.
It will have to be evaluated by an academic advisor, and I'm sorry to give that answer, but it really is a case-by-case basis.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, you're gonna have great support through BYU
Mhm,
Pathway, people helping you, telling you what you need to do. Is their weekly gatherings different than the institute? Yes.
mhm.
Yep, they're separate. So,
A lot of times they happen on the same evening, but they are 2 separate things.
yeah. Okay, that's a great question too.
Mhm.
All right, maybe one more question. Are there any more questions?
W Okay, let's see. As
Okay.
I understand, 1 year at Pathway Connect, and then 2 years to acquire. Okay, so this is actually a great question and maybe a good note to end on. So as recently as April of this year, we have approval to offer a 3-year bachelor degree. That means that you can earn your bachelor's degree in a minimum of 3 years. So it does depend on how many credits you can work into your life. Most BYU Pathway students have jobs and families and church callings that occupy a lot of their time. And so the amount of credits that each student will take varies, but you can earn a degree in as little as 3 years. So degrees are anywhere from 96 to 104 credits.
And what's so great is that you can also take it as slow as you want to. You could take one class, right? And so just work through it. This program is made to help you in whatever circumstances you're in. So that's what's so awesome about it. I am so excited that you guys were here. Thank you so much for your questions. Again, if you were here and maybe we didn't answer your question, let me know, or just go to BYUPathway.edu. And like I said, their site is really easy to navigate and we'll answer all of your questions. But I'm excited to start. I'm going to be sharing my day in the life of BYU Pathway during my first week of school. So I'm going to be doing that on BYU Pathway Worldwide, taking over their Instagram and sharing what it's like to start school as a 41-year-old mom of four kids. So stay tuned for that. If you're not following BYU Pathway Worldwide, make sure that you do. They share awesome stuff, lots of great devotionals and quotes and information. And if you're not following me, Becky Squire, follow me because I'm going to be sharing my journey through BYU Pathway. So thanks again for being
here. Do you want to show your shirt really quick?
Okay. So this is my BYU Pathway shirt, one of them.
Okay.
And we're doing a giveaway this week too. We did part of it yesterday, and then I'm opening the giveaway again on Friday. So if you didn't get a chance to enter the giveaway, watch on Friday on my account and I will be opening the giveaway again. We're giving away one of these shirts, not this one that I'm wearing, but the same design. And then we're also giving away a water bottle, a BYU Pathway water bottle that my son has one and he loves it. It's a really good water bottle. So yeah, so make sure you are staying tuned for that. And thank you again for being here. And we will end this live.